A good example. You are married, you're a Christian, you have children, 5 girls, you have no son, and you die. If the tradition says your brothers will inherit the properties, so will it be. Your wife and children will lose out. Your daughters, let me emphasize, your daughters will lose out because of the tradition. And that's why we encourage, that's the first challenge people will face. The second one will have to do with the age of the beneficiaries. If they are minors, then they cannot directly inherit your wealth. So that is another challenge. We as Christians must realize that if we have minors as children, you need to start making plans. That's why I talk about the executors. You need to know who are the best persons that will be the one to manage your estate on behalf. Estate means your property and your money on behalf of your children who are minors. Another challenge that we normally face is the one I've already mentioned, which is if you did not make a will, then the tradition will prevail. But let me add, another reality we face, this one is real. Many people have properties. When they die, their wife do not know they have the property. So, and their children do not know. Many persons have lost their property because of that. I remember a friend of mine, his client confided in him all the properties. The man is very rich. He's like all those multi-millionaires. But his wife does not know his properties. His children does not know his properties. If not that lawyer has some fear of God in him, he could have manipulated things. So when the man died, it is this lawyer that came up with documents of his client to the wife and started showing her the properties the man has, which the wife does not know. Because some persons have wives, they keep her as housewife. I hope you understand. There are people like that. They just have a wife. I don't get you involved in my business. So the problem would be that if that lawyer was not have the fear of God in his heart, he could have manipulated everything. And that rich man, children will suffer because the man did not put his house in order. Because the man did not make a will. Praise the Lord. The man did not make a will, but because God just had mercy on him, that his lawyer was able to reveal all his properties, and she was able to make good progress and train her children. Another challenge is the executors. Another challenge many persons face is after they die, the problem is the people entitled to manage this property for the beneficiaries are crooks. Because you have the opportunity to appoint who will be your executors. So if you make the mistake of using a biased mind to choose, your children will bear the consequences, your wife will bear the consequences, because because that person, take for instance, I'm the one managing, as lawyers we manage property, and I manage it. And I start embezzling the fund from the estate. And I damn the consequences. Your family will be handicapped because they will be relying on me to help them. When they need money, they'll come and meet me. And that's why you must, most importantly, be careful, because you have the opportunity now to start choosing who should be your executor when you die, who will manage your property. Now, the fifth one is the new one. The challenge women have faced, and that's why you must be aware of it. The Rivers State governor last year decided to do an upgrade concerning inheritance law in Rivers State. Women have suffered. They created a law, and that law is so special in the sense that that law made it criminal. In one law, they dealt with the civil aspect of inheritance for women, and they also dealt with the criminal aspect in the same law. Any woman who is supposed to benefit from her husband's property or female child, and he or she dies, and he dies, the children of the wife, the female, they are entitled to share of their husband or father's property now in Rivers State by law. Now, the men who choose to insist on tradition, the law have changed. The law now made it a criminal offense. You either be imprisoned for 5 years for that, for discriminating against your sister-in-law or whatever, or your sister, or you pay a fine of 500,000 naira, or both. So the law has changed because they found out that they need to protect the women. And that is why they created this law. But this is applicable to Rivers State. Abia State has its own law. I hope you understand. But generally in Nigeria, there are cases that have already settled this issue. But Rivers State made it special and made it protect the civil aspect and also protect the criminal aspect. Because in the civil case, because the matter will end up in court, is that the court will force the daughter or the wife to inherit what she was, a right in the property. And apart from jailing you, or ask you to pay a fine, or both. Let's rush. I have just a few more minutes. Costs to deal with the inheritance issue. That is another one. Somebody was discussing with me in this program that I was talking about next of kin. And I tried to explain to him that next of kin, most times when you hear that somebody benefits based on next of kin, those are informal arrangements. You don't inherit property based on next of kin. Next of kin is that when you are filling your form, maybe for employment, they need somebody they can contact. That is why they put that word, next of kin. That does not mean that should be the beneficiary of your estate when you die. That is the person they are supposed to contact. But some companies that are informal, they can just contact the next of kin and just settle. But that is not legal. That is not official. And because of that, to process your inheritance is very expensive.